Good afternoon. Today I'm going to talk about the rise and fall of Hulk Hogan. Real name Terry Gene Bollea. He was born August 11, 1953, and he died July 24, 2025 at the age of 71. Hogan was known as one of the biggest stars in the 80s. He first started his career in the AWA as a heel, and he eventually became a superstar. The AWA was a huge promotion that had stars like the Iron Sheik, the the, the Legion of Doom. That eventually all these stars ended up going to the WWF, including Hulk Hogan. That he left for the WWE in 1983. Hogan was a WWE champion for 6 times in WWE and six times in WCW. He's known for forming the NWA, the NWO in the late 90s with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. He also tried opening a bunch of businesses. In 1995, he had Pasta Mania. There was a fast food pasta restaurant that even though he opened it in the Mall of America in Minnesota, and despite having a grand opening with it closed that same year, he opened Hogan's Beach. That it was a restaurant he opened in Florida. That it was later rebranded over racist dress code. And the last thing he opened was Real American Freestyle Wrestling, that he managed to, which he did in early 2025 with Eric Bischoff and other partners. And it was also, he passed away before the show was preparing for his inaugural event. Hogan had 3 marriages. The first marriage was with Linda Claridge, that ended it with controversy, that she accused him of physical and emotional abuse. They had years which she ended up taking 70% of his earnings and $3 million in a property settlement. His second marriage was with Jennifer McDaniel in 2010, and they divorced in 2021. And his third marriage was with Sky Daly in 2023, and was still married to his death. And the controversies with his kid. Most notorious was with Brooke. He had an estrangement with Brooke that never even met her twin kids. Nick had a car crash in 2007 for driving recklessly. His passenger, John Graciano, suffered severe brain damage and was left minimally conscious state, and Nick only served 5 months in jail. That literally led to the show Hogan Knows Best getting canceled. And literally after all the divorces and the drama, the family was... We also have Hogan's infamous sex tape in 2015 that was leaked by the company Gawker, which Hogan said several racial slurs against the black community. And he was also fired that same year by the WWE and even removed as a Hall of Famer. In 2018, he was re-added as a Hall of Famer and brought back. In 2021, he co-hosted WrestleMania 37 with Titus O'Neil. And he was almost booed out of the building. The most recent event was in the Netflix premiere in early 2025 that Hogan appeared with Jimmy Hart and he was booed out of the building audibly and visibly during that segment. And even legends like Goldberg said that the fans disrespected him heavily. Hogan tried for years to amend, even doing a podcast promoting his Freestyle American where he mentioned Shelton Benjamin and said his name wrong, and the wrestler attacked him on Twitter saying that he had no association. Even in his 20-bell tribute after his passing on WWE Raw, several wrestlers did not show, like The New Day, Rhea Ripley, among others. Hogan was even with all his controversies, past problems, he was a pivotal figure in the wrestling industry and was known as one of the biggest pioneers that paved the way to a lot of wrestlers. But even in his later years, he could never get past. He won the lawsuit against Gawker. And won $140 million against the company, pushing them to bankruptcy. And even the owner had no remorse whatsoever with releasing the sex tape of Hogan. A sex tape that ruined his career. And to this, there are a variety of black wrestlers that still feel that Hogan was the biggest star between the 80s and 90s and will still be, even though he had all these controversies. But give me your opinion. What do you think about the immortal Hulk Hogan?